Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small-town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
The Watch Your Opera House in Watch Your, Iowa presents The Boys in concert Saturday, February 22nd from 7 to 9 p.m. The Boys are a dynamic band fronted by twin brothers Lee and Adam Klett. They bring a traditional feel back to modern country music. Their catchy original music will have you dancing and singing along. Admission is a free will donation. For more information, go to watchYourOperaHouse.org. It's The Boys this Saturday at the Watch Your Opera House.
Is your one-stop shop for healthcare. Our behavioral health providers offer a wide range of services to help you reach your goals. We have multiple family practice providers who see patients of all ages for acute and chronic care. Through a partnership with Bloom Pediatrics of Ottumwa, McKenna Bond, ARNP, is here on Wednesday and Friday mornings to give your child the special care they need. Libby Dasso, PAC, is here for all your rheumatology needs. Jack's Corner Drug is located just down the hall for your convenience.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because when you feel totally protected, your family's free to enjoy their dreams.
Try it again. You're getting the hang of this. Good job.
American Family Insurance.
Contact Christy Tarr in Oskaloosa at 641-673-8965. Schedule your next dental appointment with Dr. Dan Schuster at Oski Dental, 641-673-4845. They're accepting new patients. Oski Dental will file all of your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta dental provider. And Oski Dental is located at 902 South 17th Street in Oskaloosa. That's Oski Dental, 641-673-4845. We make smiles happen at Oski Dental. The Brooklyn Opera House in Brooklyn, Iowa presents Jordan Beam with Sam Roberts in concert Saturday, March 1st at 8 p.m. Tickets are just $12.50 in advance, $17.50 at the door. Jordan Beam is the Iowa Music Awards Country Music Artist of the Year for 2024 and the 2023 Midwest Country Music Organization's New Artist of the Year. It's Jordan Beam with Sam Roberts at the Brooklyn Opera House Saturday, March 1st at 8 p.m. And welcome in. It is time for the sports section. We are live, as always, at Barn Wired at 119 East Marion in Sigourney. Stop in here on this Saturday morning, beautiful Saturday morning, to get you going. Some breakfast, some coffee, whatever your Saturday morning needs are on this, this end of, what is this, it's the last Saturday in February. So March Madness is almost here. Hey, we do welcome in the madness of our host, Andy McGuire. Crazy guy that he is. Along with North Mahaska boys basketball, we've got Ottumwa girls basketball coming up. We're going to be talking to Sigourney Keota girls wrestling as well here in just a little while. So a loaded show this morning. Sports section here at Barn Wired. Andy McGuire, let's take it to you with North Mahaska boys.
And we're here with our friends from North Mahaska again. Coach Kelderman's with us. The last time we talked, I think it was right after Christmas break or shortly thereafter. And I know you guys had a couple of big games coming up, and you were getting ready to finish out the regular season. We had Asher last time, and we had Gabe last time. Coach, who did you bring with you today?
The one here to the right I know pretty well. This is Jack Kelderman, and the one over there is Adrian Smith.
Adrian looks super excited to be here this morning. I think he might rather be on the ice with that Bass Pro Shops hat. Looking good down there, Adrian. You're welcome. So, Coach, you had a big game Thursday night. You took on Baxter. Can you talk to me about how that game went?
Just a good game. We knew we played them earlier in the year. It was a 2-point ball game. We had a nice big lead, and they fought back in that game. It was just kind of a wild game. We were able to hold on. And then, so we knew we had a good opponent coming. They're a quality team that has just about all their losses have been to 1 and 2 seeds, in the end and then in the postseason. And so we knew we had to play well, and we did. The kids played hard, moved the ball well, shared the ball well. They first quarter I think was kind of low scoring, might have been like 11-9. At the end we were up 2. Baxter got the lead. I think it was 25-21 in the middle of the second quarter, and then we went on a gigantic run. I really wasn't made aware of that until I had a kid yesterday in school tell me, "You realize you went on a 35-5 run between the second quarter and the end of the third quarter?" I was like, well, that's a pretty good run. We'll take that anytime we can get it. But ended up kind of getting the lead quite a bit there, and held on to the end, played smart, took some time off the clock, and the kids, again, just overall, just a good team win. People did different things throughout the game, different roles, and we just played well as a full team.
It's a really nice win getting against Baxter last year. I know they had a really nice run into the postseason as well. What is it about that Baxter program? Is it the coaching? Is it the kids? Did they return a bunch of guys? I'm not overly familiar with that team, Coach. I know you scouted them. Tell me about that team that makes them so good over the last handful of years.
They just had some quality kids, I think, come through. A lot of times, the smaller schools, you'll have cycles go through. But they've had a nice program. I'm going to butcher names here, I know. Eli D., that one I know. Prolific scorer for them. He averages close to 30 points a game. He really had a good first quarter for them, first half, and then we kind of did a few things different defensively that kind of helped us out there. And then they just got some nice athletes. There's a Slosley kid that is just well built, played post, but overall they're a well coached team, and again they play hard also.
So, Jack, I'm going to run over to you on this one. Can you describe that Baxter team's play? Are they a get up and down the court type of group, or they have some bigs, or what were you guys facing the other night on that team?
We obviously faced a pretty good guard in Eli D, and they set a lot of ball screens for him, and just they kind of let him go to work a little bit early on, and he was making some tough shots early on in the game. And they also have two bigs down low that they can also shoot pretty well, but they crashed the boards, so we had to work hard to box out. And, limit their offensive rebounding was huge.
And then you got the big guy next to you that's helping out with that, right? Adrian, how was the work down on the block down there?
I think I got pretty dead tired in the second quarter. I had cotton mouth pretty much rested the whole game, I think.
Yeah.
He was killing me down low. Number 10, me and him chat a lot. He's a really good guy. But he'll kill you with his butt if he wants to.
I see what you mean, Coach. I'm liking this. This is going to be good. Yeah, so Adrian, as far as – Adrian, just hit me what it was. Do you ever do that, Coach?
I don't, but that's not bad.
Wasn't even thinking of it. Just rolled off the tongue.
I've had to hold myself back on commentary at their games all season long.
I know you were going to do that, Steve.
The worst part about that is, though, do you even know what he's talking about?
I'm a Rocky, right?
Okay, all right, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a classic. But you faced a lot of really good bigs in the Sickle. You guys are Sickle champions, too. Congratulations, by the way. It was fun for a while there because it was kind of a mix-up. Was it going to be Monty? Was it going to be Keota? Was it going to be North Mahaska? It was kind of a three-way race, and I think you guys knuckled down and did what you had to do to get it done. So, Adrian, tell me about that. How do you feel about getting that Sickle championship?
Well, for being my first year playing varsity, I think it's pretty amazing. I didn't expect us to come out this hot. I was hoping we'd get things up moving a bit slowly, but we came out firing. I was expecting Keota to come by and give us a run for our money, but too bad we gave it to them. But I'm glad we all came together and did one for the team.
Right. Oh, yeah. So you played against a couple of bigs, saying this is your first year on varsity. But there are some big dudes that played for North Mahaska. Was it Braden Steele and Nash Smith?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you probably ran scout against those guys, correct?
Braden Steele used to give me a run for my money in practice. He told me all about how good he was. So I tried to be like him, check his number, and try to play like I'm best I can.
All right, yeah. Boy's got a little swagger to him,
He
Coach.
does, yeah.
You like that? I like that a lot. So we'll come back to Jack on this question. One thing I've noticed out of North Mahaska, especially this year, I was at the Keota game, obviously, and you guys shoot lights out. And we talked about it, Coach, earlier in the year, how the North Mahaska team might be a little streaky at times, where when you guys get hot, you get super hot. How are you guys shooting the ball now?
The past few games have been pretty well, but we got to be able to, on those off nights, we got to be able to find some other ways to get some baskets. And we've had a lot of close wins in games we haven't shot well, so we're just hoping we keep shooting well Tuesday and, go from there. If it doesn't work, we'll find other ways to score. But, yeah, shooting has definitely been our best way to score this year. So.
Yeah. And moving forward, I want to put a bow on the regular season. So Sickle champions. Where did you guys end up as far as record-wise in the Sickle?
We only had one loss in the Sickle. That Kyoto team got us. They played a heck of a game against us. But, yeah, we only had one loss overall. Some huge wins, to beat Montezuma twice, to beat Linville Sully twice on our side. That's tough to do. We've talked about that, something to be proud of. We had 3 losses total. We lost to PCM and we lost to Woodward Granger, also in the postseason to 2A schools that I think everyone would say we didn't have our best nights those 2 nights, but overall just a great regular season. Obviously to be SICL champions, we're pretty proud of that.
Yeah. So Jack, looking back on the regular season, I think if you could have one game back, it'd probably be the Kyoto game. I'm guessing you guys want to get that one, obviously. But if you had to look at one game and say, boy, that was the game where we put it all together and we knew what we could do for the rest of the season, was there one game in particular?
For sure. The first time we played Linville Sully, we shot lights out. We played a heck of a game defensively. We really limited their offensive rebounding, and we played pretty perfect. I mean, yeah, we shot, I don't know, do you remember our percentages or anything?
No, I just remember the final score, realizing when we had actually won by 30. I did not know we were up by 30, to be honest, at the scoreboard. But anytime you beat Linville Sully, and then to do it in that fashion, we played an outstanding game that night, yeah.
Yeah, that's not very often you see a separation like that against the Linville Sully team is perennially really, really solid. Okay, so Adrian, coming up Tuesday night, right? Tuesday night is the district championship game.
Yes, sir.
And this is an opponent that you all know.
I think it'd be a bit scary coming back in, but I think we have a certain mindset to it. We've played with these guys 2 times. We know what we're going to bring. We know what they're going to bring to us. So I think we'll be able to take their ability and shape it the way we want.
Yeah. So tell me about that mindset. How do you get yourself to that point that you're ready to rock and roll with these guys come Tuesday night?
We like to watch a lot of film in classrooms, and we talk about the confidence we should bring out. When Asher gets to a point, he likes to send a couple messages in the group chat and encourage us all up.
Oh, yeah? Can you share me what the message is?
Well, last time I checked, it was pretty much saying, let's go have fun, kill him. But he's pretty nice about it.
Well done, sir. I kind of baited you there.
You did. I see what you're doing.
Coach, how do you get these guys ready to play?
That isn't my job. They come with a mindset. This group just been fun. They come ready. They just work. I have said this from day one. This has been so much fun because people have commented, officials have commented, we play hard. We play really, really hard. Up and down the floor, we get after it. And I've never, ever, ever had to encourage that part of it. I think they know what the expectation is, but it's been fun, and I know we'll come ready. We know Montezuma's a great opponent. We know they got some great players, well-coached team, and it's just going to be a fun, great atmosphere.
Yeah, they played Sigourney the other night and had a really tight one. I heard that maybe Brady Bolton rolled an ankle or did something. He went off in the 4th quarter. Do you guys know anything about this?
Well, I have watched film. I am aware that he left the floor, but I also am aware that he came back on the floor and hit a late shot in that game. So we know Brady well enough to know that a rolled ankle is probably not going to keep him off the floor against us, and we're going to have to obviously play defense the way we have played and maybe even step it up a little bit more. So we expect to see Brady's best version of Brady on the floor come Tuesday night.
So Coach is getting a little bit into the X's and O's of that. How do you guard a guy like Brady Bolton? And I don't want to talk for 10 minutes about Brady Bolton because this is a really high-quality basketball team. He has a lot of guys around him, strong kid, a few others. I'm not going to get down the roster. But how do you game plan for a guy like Brady Bolton and then also keep the pieces where they need to be to defend as well? Because this is a really high-flying offensive team.
Yeah, we are blessed to have, I would say, a team concept of defense that we get after it, but we have each other's back. Jack here is probably, kind of our glue defensively of just having people in the right spot, having our help defense where it needs to be. Sometimes he's even known to push people to get to the right spot. We've seen that on video. But we've also got a kid, Lucas Nunakoven, that's just got that mindset that you want to have in a defensive player on your team, that I've got you one-on-one and I'm going to do my best. But again, it's a team concept where if Lucas gets beat or, he's being screened, we got some other people that are going to step up and make life a little bit tough for Brady when he does drive, because he's really, really quick kid. But luckily Lucas is pretty quick himself. But Lucas has got the mindset, I'm going to try and stop their best. And he kind of knows that's his role. But defensively, we got to have the other four being in the right spot to know that if he does get by Lucas, we got to have the help ready to help on that situation.
Yeah, one of the things I love about this North Mahaska team, you have Adrian showing up in the Bass Pro Shops hat. I think it was Gabe last time. Did he rock the Pioneer seed corn hat or something like that?
I don't know about that with Gabe. I don't know. I don't think so.
One of them did. Maybe it was Asher. One of them. Asher had the Pioneer hat on. Okay, yeah, that's who it was. But this is a roll up your sleeves and get to work type of group. And this is a classic Southeast Iowa matchup. Monty and North Mahaska for a district championship. The only thing that would make it better is if this were a sub-state game.
I would agree. I wish we Coach Dingler and I had talked. I kind of wish that the conference would have been split up a little bit differently, where we were in different districts, so that if we were meeting, it would have been a chance to go to state. I think you got two really high quality teams here meeting in a district championship, and it would have been fun if it would have been for sub-state. But we don't have that say. So the state had that say, and we got to go with it. But, you got two really good teams. District championship is going to be a good atmosphere.
Yeah, I think it's been a common theme. I know in Southeast Iowa, whether it's a super conference, SICL, whatever it is, I don't think we've gotten a lot of love down here. I think we should see a North Mahaska, a Monty, a Sigourney, a Keota should have cracked that top 10 somewhere along the line. As a fan, I think that should have happened. And then this bracketing, how it came out, I just went, wow, this is unbelievable how I think Southeast Iowa kind of got the stiff on it, but that's just my opinion.
No comment.
Maybe that's a now listen segment there, yeah. Steve. All right.
I was going to say, we did Steve Shetler Media. We were at Montezuma for the North Mahaska at Montezuma boys and girls games, and just an electric atmosphere at Montezuma. I can only imagine I don't know what the Grinnell gym is like. We're going to go in there not knowing. I have never been in there, but I can only imagine that both sides of the stands are just going to be jam-packed, and it's going to be electric. I don't know. Do you have any words for the support you guys get from your fan base?
I kind of actually addressed that after our last home game. Just thank the fans. We show up at North Mahaska for postseason games, and our stands are just packed. Student sections there going. It's just been fun. I think the kids realize, they're kind of lucky where they're at, just because we do have that support, that community support, and it's just been fun to host, because obviously that kind of helps that support. But no, the community support and the school support has just been there. Obviously, it's fun when you got wrestlers up at state right now who are doing well. You got girls basketball still playing and still doing well, and they're going to have a chance to go to state, play for state on Wednesday night. We wish them the best. And obviously boys basketball been doing very well, SICL champs, and playing. And so the spirit in school obviously is up pretty high, and I think the community obviously helps backing that.
And I told Carrie Krall, the athletic director, that obviously, Steve Shetler Media has followed you guys. We did several of your regular season games, and I mentioned to her how welcoming, how hospitable the New Sharon community has been to us. So, and I'll tell you guys that as well. So, thank you guys for making us feel very welcome and appreciated this year here in New Sharon. So, best of luck coming up on Tuesday.
Thank you so much.
All right, and thanks for making the trip. I'm sure you guys would rather be sleeping in on this Saturday morning, so appreciate you guys coming in, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday night. That's North Mahaska boys basketball here on Steve Shetler Media's The Sports Section. Again, we're live here at Barnwired in Sigourney. We're going to transition into Ottumwa girls basketball. We'll take about a minute and a half break and be back with the Ottumwa girls right after this.
Attention Iowa business owners. Is your business missing sales because you're too busy to follow up? Every missed call or delayed message could be costing you money. At Easy Biz Tech, we help local businesses stay ahead by automating customer follow-up, so no lead gets left behind. Missed a call? Our system texts back instantly. Need personalized outreach? We send automated texts, emails, and even use AI-powered voice agents to connect with your customers 24/7. Stop losing money because of slow follow-up. Contact Easy Biz Tech today, where Iowa businesses win online.
Find your Iowa dream home with AE Realty in Montezuma. With unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise, AE Realty is the Montezuma real estate expert you've been looking for. Whether you're buying or selling, AE Realty can help you get the best deal. You can find AE Realty at 321 East Main Street in Montezuma. Call 641-623-2639 or online at www.aerealtyinc.com.
Looking for more than just a job? Find a career where you make a difference right in your community.
What I appreciate about First Resources is our dedication to innovation, always looking for ways to expand programming and offer greater opportunities for our staff and everyone involved.
First Resources staff are amazing. They're committed and they are motivated and they are fierce advocates to help clients meet their goals.
If you're ready to join a team committed to making a difference, apply online and join us at First Resources.
All right, we are back here live here at Barnwired in Sigourney, a great place to stop in on a Saturday morning and get some coffee and breakfast to start your day. We've got Ottumwa girls basketball coming up here momentarily. First, what you're seeing on your screen right now is our Team of the Week, sponsored by Kelly Style at State Farm in Oskaloosa. And as voted on by our engagers here on Steve Shetler Media Facebook, EBF Boys Wrestling is our Team of the Week. Congratulations to them. They had a ton of wrestlers up at State this weekend, and the EBF girls wrestling team has won this award 5 times this school year. Now the EBF boys taking their turn, so congratulations to them. Our Keokuk County Hospital and Clinic's Athlete of the Week, again voted on by folks here on Facebook, was Ottumwa Wrestling's Ashton Grace, who was up at State Wrestling as well. So congratulations to Ashton, and again the EBF boys wrestling team. Speaking of Ottumwa, let me adjust my camera just a hair. We welcome in Ottumwa girls basketball, and as I mentioned to you, Coach, this is the debut of Ottumwa on the sports section. We've been doing this show for about a year and a half now, and you're the first team from Ottumwa to come on up to Sigourney, so we appreciate you guys coming in. Andy McGuire, our host, take it away.
Diving into the big schools now. Welcome, Ottumwa girls basketball. Coach, who did you bring with you today?
So I have our 2 senior captains with us tonight, this morning. Yeah. I have Nellie Morgan here and Briley Yeager, both seniors, 1 forward, 1 guard.
All right. Nellie and Briley, and you guys are getting ready for a big game tonight. So this morning we're doing this. Tonight we're going to Southeast Polk. You all are going to Southeast Polk. Tell me about this game, Coach. What are you expecting to see tonight?
Yeah, so obviously playoff brackets came out last week. To be honest with you, I was a little bit surprised with how things kind of sorted out. I thought we might get a Wednesday 4-5 seed game to go play a 1 on Saturday tonight. But with that being said, we ended up getting a 3 seed, and we go to the 2 seed Southeast Polk tonight. They're ranked 13th right now. A good athletic team. They want to play fast. They want to play up and down. They have 2 really good guards, number 2 and 10, that are going to be their catalyst. They're going to do everything for them. But I thought, kind of the best case scenario happened for us. We actually had a rescheduled game from last Friday that we made up this Monday against Ames, and our girls came out and actually battled to an overtime win there. And so I thought, with all things being said, that was kind of a good schedule change for us to get us a Monday game. Then that gave us Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to prep for tonight. So yeah.
And a really nice win, like you say, against Ames. You guys are having a great season, though. Coach, tell me about the regular season and what the record was and what you saw out of your ladies.
Yeah, so we were 14-7, finished second in the Iowa Alliance South behind Des Moines Roosevelt. Des Moines Roosevelt and us have kind of went back and forth. We shared the conference title last year, and so we knew coming into this year it would be tough. They ended up getting a couple new players in this year that they didn't have on their roster last year, and so that's something that we commonly see in the big schools. I don't know about the smaller schools as much, but at the big school level we see a lot of new players and new faces on different teams year in and year out. And so with that being said, they added a couple pieces this year, and that kind of just made them a harder team to guard. Let's just put it that way. So they were a good team to play, obviously. Ames won the North Division, and so for us to come out and beat the North Division champ, sorry, they shared that title with Mason City, but for us to come out and share that with them was great. Outside of the conference there, we played some non-conference games against like Waukee and Iowa City High, both top 10 teams right now. We also played some Southeast opponent conferences in like Fairfield, Washington, Mount Pleasant, Burlington. So.
Yeah, here on Steve Shetler Media, we cover a lot of small schools, and you mentioning players coming in, coming out. You see it once in a while, but generally you see a group of athletes and you see them all the way through. And, I was looking at your all schedule, and you guys play a lot of metro schools. I mean, this Alliance South Conference is pretty much Des Moines and Ottumwa, correct?
Yep.
So I'm going to throw over to the players now. Now, tell me about playing these we'll start with you. Okay. So tell me about these big schools. I mean, Ottumwa's a big school, relatively speaking, for those of us that sit in this room that are familiar with Sigourney. But when you talk Des Moines Metro, that's a different animal altogether, right? Do you feel that way?
Yeah. They're always really – oh, sorry. Right here. They're always really good teams. They always push us to be our best. Roosevelt's always a tough game, like Joe said. But it helps – that we've had a lot of the same girls throughout all of our 4 years. So it helps that we always have the same team and we kind of know what the Des Moines teams look like.
Yeah, big town, small school feel out on Ottumwa, the Bulldogs. Yeah, no, that's great. So we'll go over to Briley next. And so when you guys prep for like a Southeast Polk team postseason, what do your guys' practices look like?
Our scout team consists of a few of our JV players. We actually have a really good incoming class in the 8th grade, so we have some of them pull up, and then our coaches step in so that they can give us their best players, and they know the scout, so they can play like them.
Oh, that's great. So looking at the Southeast Polk team, what are you guys expecting to see tonight as far as players, style, that sort of thing?
They average about 60 possessions per game, so our goal is to slow down the game, slow down the shot clock, and make them play a different style so they're not comfortable.
And 14-7 regular season record. Tell me about a couple of wins where you guys, were excited to get, maybe ones that you weren't expecting, and then maybe also a couple of losses. So we'll start with you and then have the same question for
Ames, for sure.
Yeah.
We've lost the past 3 years, and they only graduated one senior that went to Simpson. So they're returning most of their same players who are very good. And we came out and scored 25 in the first quarter, and they had 0. So that was a big deal for us. Roosevelt, we were obviously hoping to get the conference title again this year, but they had a few transfers in, and they are really good all around. So that was one that was expected, unexpected, could go both ways.
And how about one that maybe you dropped that you look back and say, boy, we didn't play our best game. We learned a lot from this one.
Burlington. Our shots weren't falling. They have a really good player, Miley Stiefel. We held her to 4 points. Our shots weren't falling, so that was a really hard loss on our home court.
Right. And, Coach, so you get 14 wins, 7 losses regular season. I'm guessing you maybe have some ups and some downs. Talk to me about how your team responded to winning and losing. What is this group like?
Yeah, so, I mean, the girls kind of hinted at it there. We had a really tough stretch of 8 games kind of right in the middle of our schedule. And unfortunately, I think we went 2-6 in that stretch. Nellie kind of brought up that loss to Burlington. That is a game where, she said it, like, we had every look we wanted. We held their best player down to what we wanted to do, and we just couldn't get a bucket to fall. Had a lead under a minute to go and just couldn't keep it. That one hurt, and that was one of the harder losses that we've had to endure in my tenure, at least. But out of that, we went, like I said, we went 2-6, and then we've won 8 in a row. So to kind of lead into the playoff season, to win 8 in a row, to get ourselves in a position of playing at a high level right now, coming off a big momentum win against Ames on Monday, it just makes this week of practices feel a lot different. I think if we drop that game on Monday against Ames, it probably feels way different than what it did this week in practice. So I was proud of the girls for, like I said, that was a tough stretch. We played Mason City, we played Waukee, we played Roosevelt in there twice, obviously the Burlington game. So there was just some tough games that didn't go our way. But to respond the way we did and roll off 8 in a row was good for us.
And it's peaking at the right time, right, Coach? I mean, it's one of those things where maybe you want some adversity in the middle of the season, definitely not towards the end, but rolling into this postseason play, you have an opportunity here. What do these girls need to do to take the most advantage of that opportunity and make a deep run here?
Yeah, so we talked about it all week in practice, is that we want to, and Bradley kind of mentioned it, we want to slow the game down. When you watch the NCAA tournament, or you watch conference basketball tournaments for college basketball here late in the year, the teams that get upset are the teams that get taken out of their style of play. And they're just not comfortable playing a different style of basketball. They're not comfortable having to run in a different type of system. And that's our goal tonight. Bradley mentioned it. We want to run that shot clock down. You can take 35 seconds off every single possession. And so for us, we did a lot of work on our great shot offense. If we get an open layup, obviously we're going to take it. If we can get to the foul line, we're going to take that. We got a couple shooters from outside that are really consistent from outside. And if they have an open look from outside, we want them to pull the trigger. But outside of that, we don't want to force things. We want to slow the game down, take Southeast Polk out of their transition game and make them play a half-court, slow-down game. A couple stats that I think stick out to us that we can take advantage of tonight is that we lead Class 5A in free throw attempts and free throw makes. So all the big schools in the state of Iowa, we've shot and made more free throws than anybody else. And so I think we've got to take advantage of that tonight. And if we can do that, I think we put ourselves in a great position.
So what I'm hearing, Coach, is limit the mistakes, make your free throws, and play your style of basketball. Ladies, is that what Coach preaches to you all?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah. It's always make your free throws.
Yeah. Sounds like a smart guy here. You guys have a good chemistry with Coach? Do you guys like playing for Coach? I heard I noticed you called him Joe. So you guys are on a first-name basis.
Yeah. I've kind of grown up with Joe. So that helps. I mean.
So Bradley's my daughter.
Oh, okay.
And so I've known these girls for a long time.
All right.
And so this is a pretty special group of mine to bring up through all 4 years. But yeah, we got a pretty good connection here. 6 seniors on this team, and so yeah, there's a good relationship here.
Yeah. And that's a good point too. This is something we don't talk about a lot. We had Kelderman on before, so Coach's kid, and now Briley, you're Coach's kid too. Talk to me about the challenges of being Coach's daughter on this basketball team.
If there's mistakes and I make the one, I'm the one that gets yelled at to make the point. Oh, yeah. But it's made me a lot better. I'm able to take criticism a lot better and not let mistakes stick with me because I know I just need to get over it. And he does a good job of reminding me when I make the mistakes. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like maybe you're coached a little bit harder than the other girls on the team?
I'd say he coaches us all pretty hard. He expects a lot out of all of us, but I'd say that I'm just the example for when there is a mistake. That way he knows that I know that he's doing that to me for a reason and that he's not just picking on someone.
Yeah. Is it ever a struggle to maintain that coach-player relationship, whereas it's dad? Do you ever just slip up and say, "Oh, come on, Dad"?
No, I've been pretty good. I've had 4 years of experience from it now. Mm-hmm. Freshman year, I struggled separating basketball and home a little bit just because I'd be frustrated at practice and I'd go home and then I'd just sit in my room all night. But yeah. I've gotten a lot better of realizing it's just he's a coach. He has to do what he has to do.
Yeah. Coach, do you have any advice for other coaches or other kids that play for a parent?
Man, we had our senior night a couple weeks ago, and that was harder than I ever expected it to be. But I think the reason for that is like it builds a bond on a different level. Briley and I have spent a lot of hours watching film and just talking the game, talking about how we can, make our team better and make improvements for us. But it also just allows us to have another connection that we have as a father and daughter. But I think Briley made a good point. Like, you have to be able to separate the game from the home. And so when you're able to do that, she leads us defensively, and that's something that our team takes pride in, is that we want to be a great defensive team, and then from there we'll get out and play. And so for her to kind of step up and rise to that challenge that we have as a defensive-minded team has been great to see.
It's really exciting to get other schools in this program. We talked to a lot of small schools, so having Ottumwa here is great. Having girls basketball here is great. What I like to do is get to know the kids a little bit better, at least hear the names. You mentioned senior night. So, Nellie, I'm going to throw it at you. Can you tell us who the seniors are on this team? Put you on the spot. Then, hold on, Briley, I'm going to ask you about the rest, the underclassmen, too. So get yourself ready for that one.
We have Camden Krause, Maya Fuller, Hunter Caldwell, Cammie Pauls, and then me, and then Briley. So we've
Lots of seniors.
Yeah, we've all grown up together. I've played every sport with them, so it's.
Yeah, you guys know each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. All right, so Briley, tell me some about the up and comers.
We have a really good sophomore, Allie Gedkin. She starts for us. She's one of our really good shooters. Leia Baroma, she's super athletic. She gets good minutes on defense. And then we have some girls that play JV and then sit varsity, and that's Gracie Rockhold, Reese Thompson, and Kenley Burton. And we had a transfer from Davis County this year. Her name's Augusta Warren. She plays some great minutes on defense for us, and she's a really good energy to have out there on the court.
All right, that's awesome. One of the things I also like to ask, when you have a group of seniors, this many seniors have played all these sports together, what type of traditions do you guys have? Do you guys have any superstitions? Do you guys do any music together, dance, anything like
Definitely
that?
music in the locker room beforehand, and then a little dance party after our wins.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, spray water on Joe when he walks in.
That's happened many times this year, Joe.
They've gotten better about that. So we try to save that for the ones that carry some big meaning to us. I'm going to be honest with you. Our freshman year, man, we were struggling. We had this group of girls. And then our sophomore year, we went from 6 wins their freshman year to 13 their sophomore year, and then 16 their junior year, and then we're at 14 this year. And so when we went from 6 to 13, there was a lot of water, just because we more than doubled our win total, right? But then it kind of got saved for the big moments. And it's special. It's something. It's a tradition that we like to have. And the music in the locker room before, I think, is probably their biggest one. Their music style choices are a little bit different than mine, but they enjoy it. So
that's a common theme here. Every coach we get on here goes, "I don't even know what this is," but can you name any of the songs that these girls are listening to?
Well, I mean, they have their what I would say they're modern songs, right? The things that are hit now. But this is an odd group of Disney lovers. And so I will tell you that it's a little bit odd to walk into the locker room and have to turn the music off, and there's Disney songs playing in the background. So.
All right, girls, you got to tell me about these Disney songs. What do you guys listen, like Moana or?
Of course, yes, all of it. There's a big shuffle. Love Disney. It's like a karaoke night while we're in there. Gets us hyped up.
Well, and was it the North Mahaska girls did Cotton Eye Joe? It was a volleyball team. That's who it was. Do you guys have a specific dance that you do with this thing, or is it just a?
No, we all just belt out and sing and dance while we're getting ready.
Oh yeah, and you have a lot of bus trips too. If you guys are going to Des Moines Metro, what are those bus rides like? Is it pretty chill on the way up?
We all sleep.
Yeah. But then on the way back after a win, what's that look like on the bus?
We all sleep.
We're consistent with the sleep here.
Yeah. I mean, when we first get on the bus, we're all talkative, but then we mellow out.
Yeah.
Everybody falls asleep one by one.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to charter all of our trips, and so because of that, it's pretty comfortable. And I would say we definitely catch up on our sleep on our road trips. That's for sure.
You guys are the most chill group I think we've had on here. Sleep on the way up, sleep on the way back. We got to slow the game down. We're not going to make mistakes. We're going to make our free throws, and we're going to listen to Disney.
That's a pretty boring style of basketball.
If it were, it's working for you. So I'm not gonna judge you, brother. It is what it is. But no, I'm excited about this.
I'm going to jump in with a question. So you talk about slowing the game down. So here on Steve Shetler Media, we followed. We did games for Sigourney, we did games for North Mahaska and Pekin. So we saw not only those teams, but obviously a whole bunch of other teams this year, Coach. Now, and what we've seen from the announcer's booth is, and I'm wondering how hard it is for you to slow the game down to keep the girls. Because we just saw a lot of people go down and just launch up random three-pointers. There was just no patience. How do you keep them patient?
So there's two sides to this. Number one is that we like to press. So don't get me wrong. There are times that we play fast, right? But it all depends on the scout. And so we run a 1-2-2 zone press, and that's how we got a big jump against Ames. Okay, so in that situation, we weren't necessarily slowing it down. We were playing fast. We were getting down and running. But I have a feeling that with the Southeast Polk game, we have to slow things down. They average like 62 points a game. I mean, you have to know your team, and we're just not a team that can come out and drop 65 points and win 65-62. We are a top defensive team in Class 5A. We want to hold teams, 40 points or below if we can. And so with that, Steve, I think what we have to really be able to do is, like we talked about, work on our great shot offense. Like, we know what shots we want to get. We can get a single-sided three at 25 seconds on the shot clock or at 3 seconds on the shot clock. And so why not work the shot clock down for 20 more seconds and see if we can get a layup or see if we can get to the free throw line. If you get to the free throw line, obviously you're scoring with the clock stops, so big things can happen there. And then you're forcing a coach's hand into having to make some defensive adjustments if they get in foul trouble. And so we really have to emphasize we can get that single-sided three or that early three or that contested runner at any point. Why don't we work for a layup or for a wide-open three or for a free throw attempt with under 10 seconds on the shot clock?
Amen.
That's great basketball philosophy. Press it, slow it down, take the shot clock away from them, and make them make mistakes. So, Coach, I think it's a great game plan, and it sounds like you're thinking about it. So we wish you the best of luck going to Southeast Polk. We'll be rooting for you. I guarantee you that. And I hope you girls enjoy those Disney tunes.
Hey, and make sure you spread the word at Ottumwa High School that the Ottumwa is more than welcome here on the sports section.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys reaching out. Obviously, we couldn't make it work the last couple of weeks, but the girls were willing to come this week, and we appreciate you guys having us on today.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, so that's Ottumwa girls basketball. Guys, thanks for coming in this morning, and we'll take about a 1-minute break and have some Sigourney Keota girls wrestling coming up next.
The 2012 Iowa Finale Tawny from Tassel Ridge Winery is a sweet dessert wine that is medium tawny in color, slightly acidic, with a rich, elegant finish. It has flavors of dried figs and apricots. Sip it after your meal in front of a roaring fire and pair it with salted roasted cashews, pecans, or walnuts. The 2012 Iowa Finale Tawny is made from a blend of Frontenac and Foch grapes grown in our Mahaska County vineyards. This wine is available at the winery and at some of our 350 retailers. If your favorite store does not offer it, ask the manager to get it for you.
Build it together. Build it with Valley Lumber.
Are you building a new house or maybe wanting to do a remodel? Come check out our showroom at Valley Lumber and Hardware's Eddyville location. Cook kitchen cabinets, masonite interior doors, and more. Not sure what you want? Let us help with the design and layout of your new kitchen or remodel. At Valley Lumber and Hardware, we can help with any room in the house. From lumber for building to shower enclosures, paint, and more. Choose Valley Lumber and Hardware with locations in Eddyville and Albia.
All right, once again, we are doing the sports section. We are live from Barn Wired in Sigourney. Get in here for some coffee and some breakfast to get you going on your Saturday morning. As promised, we've got Sigourney Keota girls wrestling, and our host is Andy McGuire. Andy, take it away.
All right, so we have Carly Greiner, state qualifier here, and Coach Weeks. Welcome to the program, Coach and Carly. Carly, if I call you Carlos, am I going to offend you?
No.
Because I've been watching basketball for so long, and whether it's your mom or Sean Hafley or whoever it is, they're always cheering on Carlos. Is that your nickname?
Yeah, it is.
Is it your only nickname?
No, I have more.
We'll save that for later. And we just had a Toma girls basketball on, and they are fans of Disney music. How do you feel about Disney music?
I don't know. I don't listen to it.
Okay, I can see how this might go. Stay with me, Carly. Stay with me. Coach, you took Carly Greiner to the state wrestling tournament. How does that feel as a coach?
Well, to have a freshman dual sport athlete, I mean, that's a special thing. I doubt there's many girls like that in the state. I mean, Kia Montgomery went. She has a little bit of wrestling background, but not much. But she went and won a match down there. Obviously, Rihanna, she a perennial athlete for Sigourney High School. To have more than one girl at the state tournament like we did last year is just showing the progress we're making, showing the seed that's been planted here at Sigourney to be able to grow and have that progress. And heck, hopefully next year we got 6 at least.
So the bar is set high for SK girls wrestling. Carly, freshman, the first time qualifier for any Keota girl to go to state for wrestling. How does that feel, being the first person to do that?
That feels really good, and I hope we can have more in the coming years, and hopefully we can get more people from Keota to go out for wrestling.
So tell me about the process to get there. You know, I watched your district meets on the feed. You did really well at districts, and then went on to state. Tell me about that process to get you to state.
It was very hard progress because playing basketball and wrestling is very hard, and I was barely in the wrestling room. I only had probably 8 practices before district, and I just had to use those 8 practices and try to get to win. So.
Yeah, and you did. You won. You won really well at districts. You wrestled really well. Was that an expectation of yours that you were going to wrestle that well to make it to state, or were you surprised, or how did you feel after getting that?
I was kind of surprised because I didn't think I could actually do it with doing 2 sports, so I was very happy with myself.
Yeah, I know you played really well basketball this year, and we'll talk about basketball in a second. I definitely want to get through this state discussion because it's such an accomplishment. I know it didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out, but at the same token, just having that experience has to feel really cool. Can you tell me just about the atmosphere? What was it like going to state, seeing all the people there? Was there a lot of press, a lot of coverage?
There's a lot of people there, and it was very loud in there, and it was a really cool atmosphere to be in.
Makes you thirsty for another one, right? Have we set goals that way?
Yeah, hopefully I can go there all 4 years.
And Carly, are you planning on doing this dual sport thing all the way through? You made it work. You know, you girls basketball, Keota had a really, really good season. A lot of young talent on that Keota Eagle girls basketball team. And Coach has big plans for this SK girls wrestling. He's going to send half a dozen or more to state next year, he says.
Yeah, I'll probably do both for all 4 years.
That's a full schedule, right? And you're not a girl that takes a lot of time off anyhow. I know you're involved in a lot of different things. So how do you balance those 2 different things? Obviously, you say you didn't get a lot of mat time in the wrestling room. Did it also impact basketball?
A bit, yeah.
It's got to be pretty handy having those meets. The wrestling meets are predominantly on weekends, or do you get them through the week too?
I went to most of the weekend ones. I only went to the home meets on the weekdays.
Gotcha. And Coach, what's your perspective of this? How do you feel about the dual sport approach?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I would do some awful things for having her at once a week at least to just have a little bit more mat time. Eight practices kind of had me sweating in Williamsburg, but I mean, if we can work it out I could have her a day a week, maybe 2, and split it a little more evenly. I mean, I know she's a good basketball player and she's a good wrestler for me. So I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, I want her more, but then I'm taking away from her basketball. If I have her less, it's shooting me in the foot. Like, I mean, hopefully we can find a little bit happier medium.
Mm-hmm. Right. And tell me about the state wrestling experience for you. You've been there before with Rihanna, correct?
Yes,
and
sir.
Now you're bringing Carly to the state tournament. How did this year differ from prior years?
Well, a lot more preparation, I guess. A lot more communication as far as hey, we're leaving at this time. Now instead of just getting one girl to grab her bag and her stuff, now we got to get 3 of them getting going, and that's a little, I don't know, difficult. Some of you fathers out there with daughters probably know that one. But it's kind of just, how do I put it besides, that's why we're here. Let's go wrestle. You just have to be here on time, make weight, and go wrestle. I'll take care of the rest. I'll do the rest of the worrying. I mean, as far as it goes, like, I guess I can kind of drop the ball in communication here. Kia's at gymnastics, last I knew. And, I mean, we tried last week, but lack of communication on either end, and it just didn't work out. And Rihanna, I think I talked to her verbally, and that got lost in the crosshairs. Not her fault. I mean, it's probably my fault, but I mean, just to get. I mean, as far as the tournament goes, heck, we showed up. There was an ice storm. So we showed up early and kind of walked around the mall, and hey, we're not going to tell that story. But just
we aren't. That sounds like a challenge to me.
Yeah. just getting up there is half the battle sometimes. I mean, heck, I've at former schools we drove through blizzards to get to the state tournament. You got to get there. We're going to get there. HE double hockey sticks or high water.
There you go, Carly. I would imagine that it would be. We're just thankful that we have Carly here to talk about SK Wrestling. You know, again, the first time a Keota girl has made it to state wrestling. What an honor to have you here. It'd be great. And the year is young, Coach. We can have Rihanna. We can have Kia come in too. And I don't want to underscore, either one of those girls. I mean, Rihanna had a storybook career, really kind of set the bar. Every time I think of Rihanna Utterback and SK Wrestling, girls wrestling, I think of Caitlin Clark. It's not a fair comparison because they're two different stages. But as far as, impact and having a figure for somebody to look up to, Rihanna's that girl, I think. Would either of you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say, I've been telling people, seems like after she won that state title a couple weeks ago, I had all kinds of media people hounding me for comments and concerns. Heck, I told the Gazette that, and I firmly believe this, I learned more from her than I ever taught her. I mean, she's just a perennial athlete. Wrestling's her life. Wrestling's her passion. That's what she wants. And I mean, whatever she does in her life, she'll be successful at, just because she's been a wrestler, been on the national stage, all that stuff. And she has been a wonderful leader for the girls team we had this year. I mean, Kia, Sadie, I know I'm going to forget people, but it's some big shoes to fill. I mean, as far as being a leader, next year I got 6 leaders. I don't know the exact number, but I've had anywhere from 5 to 8 number thrown at me of incoming freshmen. I mean, we got to figure that. I mean, we got to figure that out. We got to have good leaders. When it comes down to it, we got people that this isn't their first rodeo anymore. So, I mean, just time to step up. Just like Rihanna. It's not the end of Rihanna Utterback's story. It's the new chapter.
So, Carly, tell me about that leadership on this team. Obviously, I'm sure you all look up to Rihanna and what she's been able to do. But like Coach says, you have Kia, you have Sadie. Freshmen make it to state. You're going to be one of those leaders moving forward. Talk to me about that dynamic on that team.
Yeah, Kia and Sadie have taught me a lot about wrestling. Sadie would always wrestle with me. Before state, she would always teach me some new moves or something, or help me with something. And Kia's always helped me too. And then Rihanna is, always a great leader and an amazing wrestler, so she's always been there to help. And yeah, they've been great leaders and people around me, so.
So setting goals, obviously you want to make it again, doing this dual sport thing. Where do you see yourself? Where's the ceiling for you? Do you think you can bring home a state championship?
Yeah, I think I could.
Put the time in, put the work in, get Coach what he wants, maybe this 50-50 happy medium thing, as he maybe put it?
I mean, what I tell all kinds of athletes this: boys, girls, football, wrestling, track. Why would you walk into a fight thinking you're going to lose?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you 100%, Coach. You know, I've got kids of my own that are in athletics, and that's what I put on them every single time is, you know, you better go in with the mindset that you're going to win, you're going to compete, and you're going to be the best one on the floor. Is that reality? Maybe not. I don't know. But if you shoot for the moon, heck, the sky's the limit. But the question for the athlete is do you think you can do it? If you got one that says, no, I don't think I can do that, then that's a bad sign, right, Carly?
Yeah.
How about that girls' basketball team? What's the goal for the girls' basketball team?
Next year, I think one of my goals for our team would be to get top 3 in the sickle and then make a deep run in the playoffs.
You know, and this was probably the first time, Coach or Steve, that we've had 3 athletes with coaches. So dad coaches as well. What's that like having your dad on the sideline?
He always yells at me, so but he always makes sure as I watch film and make sure as I get better, and he's always been a help. So
Yells with love, right? And then gives you a hug when you get home?
No.
Does he hug Brody?
No.
I got a smile out of her, Shannon. Just a little bit. So anyway, back to these Disney songs. Are you a Moana fan?
Yeah, I think the movie's pretty good.
Yeah, there we go. I do too. What's your favorite movie of all time?
I don't know. That's a hard choice.
Coach, how about you? Is there a wrestling movie that you're a big fan of?
Oh, I mean, Vision Quest. little bit of Lunatic Fringe.
There we go. We got. I don't even know what either one of those are, honestly. Really? I don't.
You've never seen Vision Quest?
Red Rider?
Nor
You got to
Red
wear
Rider.
the like rubber suit or whatever the guy wears. I can't remember what it's made of.
Yeah, the old sweatsuit.
Sweatsuit.
No. Do you know what these guys are talking about?
No.
I don't know any other wrestling, like amateur wrestling movies.
There's one about Anthony Robles, the wrestler from Arizona State, and I mean, a lot of them are just factual things.
Yep.
Do you have a wrestler you look up to, Carly, aside from, say, Rihanna?
I always watch Spencer Lee, and I always watch the Iowa men's wrestling team.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. They have a lot of stud athletes, and it's fun to go. There's a big one coming up tomorrow night. Is it Oklahoma State? You going to be at that? Are you going to go to that, Carly?
I'm going to watch it on TV.
There you go. All right. So let's put a wrap on this thing, Steve. SK Girls Wrestling, Rihanna, moving on. Kia Montgomery went 1-2, right, Coach? And Carly didn't record the first one, but we got that coming up. And we have big goals for next year. Carly's going to pull double duty and play basketball and put a little more time in that in the wrestling room. Carly, what's coming up the rest of the year for you?
Track season and then softball.
Track and softball. So you do it all. You're in basketball, you do wrestling, softball, track. What is your first love? What is your passion? If you had to pick one sport or one activity, maybe you're into the music or whatever else, what would you choose?
It's either basketball or wrestling. It's really close for me.
Oh, there we go. The plot thickens, Coach. It's either basketball or wrestling.
Well, I always tell my athletes that a good day of basketball never beats a bad day of wrestling.
Well, we know where his heart lies. All right, Coach. So is it wrestling or is it football for you? We know it's not basketball, right? Nor track. I'm assuming you're not a big track guy.
Well, I help the kids with shot put so they don't kill each other. But as far as it goes, I'll just tell a story here. So I can't remember who we were playing. It was down here at the Cobra Field, and I had a kid walk up and go, "What do we do in this situation?" I'm like, I'm not exactly sure. I read the rule book, but I can't remember this one. He goes, "What do you know, Weeks?" I go, "Wrestling."
And Weeks knows wrestling. That should be put on a shirt.
Speaking of shirts, so what is the meaning of your shirt, Coach? You got the clothespins on there.
Oh, yeah.
Or the
safety pins?
Whatever safety pins.
So, this is, I can't remember if this was last year, sure, the year before, but some clubs the cheerleaders will hand you a safety pin after you pin your opponent.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, that's that. And then also, as far as outfits go, are you going to get a suit did I see Shane Utterback standing out in his gold suit?
Yeah, it was bright yellow. It was good.
I thought I was watching Curious George.
I think you need to get one of those for next year.
Well, see, I had just bought a suit for a wedding and got the blessing from the bride-to-be and that I could wear this. If I bought it, I'm like, I'm going to get some miles out of it. And so I got to get that thing dry cleaned here in a little bit. But I don't know. I think the black and yellow tie kind of matched Shane.
There you go. Kind of the opposites.
Yeah, and I can't speak enough about Shane Utterback, what he's done. I mean, he came in to help our program and very well did that. And I appreciate everything he's ever done for SK Wrestling. I mean, I could sit here for however long you wanted to and list out names. I mean, Lee Crawford's a big one. There's a lot of people that help make this program where it is. It's not just me. It's not just the wrestlers. It's not just Rihanna. There's a lot of work that goes into this.
Sure.
And I appreciate everyone who's ever put time in to get us where we are.
That's a great point. Shout out to athletic director and shout out to assistant coaches all the way out there. I disagree with you, Coach. I think the yellow on yellow would be good. Let's get you guys matching suits. That's my vote. Carly, how do you feel about that idea?
I think it's a great idea.
Excellent. 2-1, we win.
Teacher salary.
3-1. Teacher salary.
Teacher salary.
We'll pass the hat. Don't worry. We got you taken care of. And Carly, a last question for you. Tell me exactly what happened in that mall that Weeks doesn't want anybody to know about.
I mean, we were just looking around the mall. I mean, I don't know what store you're talking about.
So we walked around a bunch of different stores, and I could figure out where they were by just giggling. But then I thought, hey, I looked at Shane. I said, we should just tie a balloon to Izzy McCullough. We'll find her real quick.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for being on the program, Carly. Congratulations. What an accomplishment, and I'm looking forward to seeing you the next 3 years, both on the basketball court and on the wrestling mat and in the track and hitting the softball and doing all that you do. So congrats.
Right. Let's get a quick picture here, everybody, in 3, 2, and 1. All right, that is Sigourney Keota Girls Wrestling. Thank you for coming in this morning. You can exit stage right if you'd like. We'll focus on Andy now. Andy, this is going to be your last show for a while now. We have signed you to a blood contract to come back in the fall. But Andy, we've definitely appreciated you. You've done an absolutely fantastic job. The last 6 months here on the show. Now, of course, you've got your own family and your own busy life. What are you going to be doing this spring and summer? Tell us all about it.
Well, yeah, I'm going to be chasing kids around. Brennan's going to be playing golf, and Tate's going to be playing for Sluggers and Town Ball too. And Tenley, she twirls and dances and does her thing for KC Elite and also over in Washington. So she's dancing. Plus, I'm trying to do a couple of things professionally as far as president roles on a couple of different associations. So I've got a lot of stuff coming up in March, but I do plan on being back here hopefully this fall if you'll have me again to talk about football and maybe roll into basketball season the way that we did. But it's been a whole lot of fun during this segment that I've done, getting to know and getting to talk to these young people and these coaches. That's been really exciting to see what all these young people have to bring and get to know them a little bit better. So I appreciate the audience bearing with me as I ask those off-the-wall questions as far as what we're listening to or trying to get these coaches to do some sort of funny dance or whatever it might be. So it's been fun.
We'll maintain. I'll keep asking what they listen to in your absence, and let's make a deal here on the air. You're coming back. Maybe if whatever your Labor Day weekend plans are.
Yeah.
We'll see maybe right around there, right around football season, maybe the weekend before to make your return. So,
that'd be fun.
All right. So, Andy McGuire, it's been a whole lot of fun, and we'll do it again in the fall. So that'll do it for this edition of the Sports Section. Again, we are always live at Barnwired in Sigourney. You can stop in here for some coffee and some breakfast. And, of course, we're always here on Fridays as well for our Iowa Music Showcase from 11:30 to noon. So that'll wrap it up for this week. Again, you can always watch it here on Facebook and YouTube. You can always listen to it after the fact in podcast form. It's the sports section here on Steve Shetler Media.